All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. All right, and I want to entitle this lesson, Sometimes You Just Know. All right, and what I'm going into is basically how sometimes you'll come across an Israelite foreigner and you'll know this is a Jake. And it's Lord willing, I'll be able to get more scriptures on this, let the spirit flow. But I only got one scripture pulled up. So, it's going to be more of a testimonial, just a quick one. I was doing my job. I do deliveries, like I said before. And as I was coming up to the register, there's a couple of people in front of me. And I just noticed this dude kind of looked like an Edomite. He definitely looked like an Edomite. And he was at the register, ringing people up. And I was just thinking like, okay, this looked like an Edomite. But then I noticed he had 2 earrings in his ear. I was like, He kind of reminded me of Mac Miller, that dude Mac Miller. And Mac Miller, I believe, was a Jake. Kind of looked like this dude, Mac Miller. Or whatever. But anyway, and like I said, I believe this dude may have been a Jake, But anyway, so he was checking out, at the register. And I just noticed, he wasn't really moving like an Edomite. He was moving like a Jake. He was like ringing everybody up real smooth, just, scanning stuff, just beep, 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 beep. He wasn't all stiff and, he was fluid with it. He was all cool and stuff. So I tested his spirit a little bit. I was like, hey, hey man, yeah, how you doing? He was like, oh, I'm good. How you doing? I was like, And then after I said, he kind of smiled like, yeah, what up, dog? You know what I'm saying? Hey, and it's just kind of, it's kind of a more of a carnal kind of thing. But, Jake have a certain spirit about themselves. But there's a flip side to that because you can't always tell off of how Jake is, So I'm going to read the scripture, Romans 8 and 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. Okay? And so the spirit that's on Jake in a lot of cases bears witness that, that they're a Jake, Even if they are an Israelite foreigner and they appear to be from another nation, you'll be able to peep out and be like, yo, and just they swag, the way they, carry themselves, you'd be like, yo, man, this a Jake, man, But it ain't always like that because sometimes brothers, even in this truth, like I perceive like even about myself, I'm very weird, I grew up around Edomites when I was younger, what I'm saying? Not all the way, but I went to Edomite school here and there and I also lived in the hood and went to nigger school. So, for lack of a better term, I went to I bounced around, what I'm saying? Because that's just how my parents was, how my mom was. She bounced around. So as a result of that, I went to a lot of different places, man. I went to Edomite schools. I went to like 4, 5, 6 different, man, I wouldn't, hey man, it could even been 7 different elementary schools just to put things in perspective. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, there are certain things I might do, certain things I might say that might come off as, not your typical Jake, like there might be certain words I might use, and it's not even like I'm trying to be some smart ass or some shit. It's just that's what I was around. Like my mom, she's like a dictionary, man. Not even, I wouldn't say dictionary, but like a thesaurus. She uses words, big words, whereas little words can explain the same shit, to put it in layman's terms, and like I said, this is just more of a personal testimony. So if you were to come around me, then I'm light skinned. I got, these little different colorful eyes, which is a what's the word? It's a deficiency, or it's a recessive gene. It's not like a dominant, type of thing, and hey, I gotta wear glasses. But the point I'm making is, if you look at me, go off the skin tone, go off of how I act, before you get to know me and really see the attributes I have that are of Jake. Like, a few people know that I can rap. Fuck that shit. But I'm just saying, so before you find those things out, you'll be probably looking at me like, oh damn, it's an Edomite. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case might be. A lot of people hear my voice and then later on they're like, damn, I thought you was some big black dude. Or whatever the case might be. So we can't always go off of carnal examples. Sometimes Jake's spirit ain't gonna be cool and suave and debonair, but sometimes you'll meet an Israelite foreigner and they'll have that type of spirit, but they'll be packaged in a different type of package. They'll look like an Edomite. Yeah. So let's get this scripture, okay? Because that's how the Most High has it set up. Jeremiah 12:9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. Okay? The birds round about are against her. Come ye assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. So a speckled bird has many different colors. Many different components make up this bird. So that's how the Most High's heritage is. And we know that his heritage is talking about the people, man. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. Okay, get that scripture. Okay, Deuteronomy 32:9. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. All right, and when you go into that word heritage and inheritance, it goes into the same thing. And we could go into that briefly. Jeremiah 12:9. Get that real quick. But yeah, like I was saying, it's just we got to be mindful of the spiritual aspects of this thing. But sometimes like the title of this is, sometimes when you know, man. So nachala, Strong's H 5159, possession, property, inheritance, heritage. So that word inheritance and heritage go together. So when you go to Deuteronomy 32:9, okay, for the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. And we can get that word just to make sure it's the same thing. Deuteronomy 32:9, to prove all things. Deuteronomy 32 and verse 9. Okay. H 5159, Nachala. So, so when you're talking about, when you go to this scripture, mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. My people are unto me as a speckled bird. So what is a speckled bird? Let's see if we can get that word speckled. Okay. Jeremiah 12. See if I can go back. Jeremiah 12:9. Speckled. Tazabawai. Colored, variegated, speckled. Okay. The hyena speckled, dyed in stripes. Rapacious animal. So let's get these words. Colored, meaning multicolored. Let's get this variegated. What does this mean? Variegated. Exhibiting different colors, especially as irregular patches or streaks. Having consistent of leaves that are as a pattern and a second color. Blah blah blah. Marked by variety. So there's variety in color. There's variety in the things that they will like and that they won't like. Like a lot of these, we got to think about this from a spiritual aspect. A lot of these rock and roll people are Jake too, but every Jake don't like rock and roll. Every Jake don't like jazz. I like some jazz, but am I a big jazz? No, not really. But there's some jazz that you can't deny is good. But the point I'm getting at is Jake is going to be varied in their spirits, and meaning the way that they carry themselves, and this, that, and the other. But when you're dealing with a Jake, you just know, man. So anyway, I'm not gonna drag this on too long. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. As we can see, This is literally going into his people, man. His people being having variation and being multicolored, man. So you black only Israelites, man, you fucking through, man. Excuse my language, man. Anyway, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Harakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. These blessings and salutations that are hopefully elect. Pray that this was edifying. With that, I want to say Shalom.